Hello, I'm Don Mitchell. Welcome back to Business Basics, a book that teaches you how to be a leader who can help your business or nonprofit organization accomplish at least 8,000 times more. In other words, wouldn't that be a wonderful blessing for your customers and beneficiaries? Today I'd like to talk about another way to expand the number of customers or beneficiaries you have by at least 20 times very quickly. And in this case, we'll be talking from lesson 21, which is entitled Approach the Ideal Best Practice, something that we just discussed in the last lesson. I'd like to quote, as always, from the Bible to begin, in this case, drawing from the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verses 9 through 11, in the New King James Version. And I quote, "And this I pray, that your love may abound still more and more in knowledge and all discernment, that you may approve the things that are excellent, that you may be sincere and without offense till the day of Christ, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Jesus Christ, to the glory and praise of God." This lesson considers step 6 of the 8-step process for making 2000% solutions. Approach the ideal best practice. You'll also find helpful material about this subject in the 2000% solution, the portable 2000% solution, and the 2000% solution workbook. This lesson builds on lesson 20. If you haven't read it recently, I encourage you to reread that lesson now or to listen to the video again. To make it easier to keep that lesson's information in mind, here are the key elements of the ideal best practice for rapid market expansion that are described in lesson 20. First, sell something new related to past successes, such that almost every prior customer and user will want the new offering. Second, build a base of awareness and preference, such that little expenditure is required to gain massive publicity. Third, maximize the attention and excitement by cramming as much activity and opportunity into 1 minute as possible. Fourth, pre-sell through contracts or subscriptions. Fifth, bundle a bigger batch of offerings together that include items that most customers and end users will eventually consider purchasing. Sixth, add scarcity appeal by providing limited versions only available at the moment. Seventh, conduct auctions that end at the same moment for anything else you want to sell, for which there is a very limited supply and huge demand. Eighth, provide experience-based services that are enhanced by the excitement of the 1-minute event. 9, create an event that everyone will want to talk about having participated in. As a possible model, consider the Super Bowl in the United States, where 2 teams play for the National Football League Championship. The average price paid for a seat in the stadium is probably over $6,000 today, and there are over 60,000 people present. Yet you can watch the game for no added event charge on any television set. Perhaps broadcasting a live theatrical performance of a new book referring to the Harry Potter series to movie theaters with J.K. Rowling serving as host could provide part of such a draw. To better understand this 6th step in the 2000-minute solution process, let's consider how to approach the ideal best practice for the substantial market expansion of a professional service. Let's assume the usual price for the professional service is $100,000. Rather than simply expanding the market, let's also find a very cost-effective way to approach the ideal best practice for market expansion. Most professional service providers spend 20 to 30% of 1 year's revenue to develop new clients to retain those clients over the subsequent 5 to 8 years. Let's assume this organization can afford to spend $20,000 to acquire a client for the base service. The market now is $2 million per year. Let's set as a goal to add $40 million in revenues, expanding by 20 times, which permits a marketing budget of $8 million for such a successful expansion by this organization. Because we don't know how effective the marketing will be, we should emphasize marketing methods with costs that vary according to the number of new sales. Before creating any increased demand, we need to be sure we have the capacity to supply an increased volume, up to 20 times more volume than the market already uses. If, for example, this is a service for licensed software, expansion should be no problem. If it's a personal service, then backup supplies and appropriate systems for supervising them will be needed. Let's look at accomplishing each of the 9 elements of the ideal best practice for such an accounting service. First, sell something new related to past successes, such that almost every prior customer and user will want the new offering. This result might be accomplished by developing a dramatically improved version of the existing service that's compatible with service users have received before. For example, if the existing service is an accounting audit, This new version might be upgraded to also include finding ways to greatly reduce operating costs by putting in simple structures for activity-based costing that the client could develop and apply for itself. Second, build a base of awareness and preference such that little expenditure is required to gain massive publicity. Robert S. Kaplan and Stephen R. Anderson are considered the authorities on the subject of activity-based costing based on the book Time-Driven Activity-Based Costing, which was published by Harvard Business School Press in 2007. One possible way to create massive awareness for the new service could be to exclusively license their methods and endorsements for performing the new service. Such a license could be negotiated to be paid as a percentage of sales, so no increased costs are incurred except when added revenues are generated. Third, maximize the attention and excitement by cramming as much activity and opportunity into 1 minute as possible. You might hold an event where potential clients and users could learn more about the new service through presentations by Robert S. Kaplan and Stephen R. Anderson. The two experts undoubtedly have a more advanced, more efficient method in mind they haven't yet written about. Your service could be based on applying such an unpublished method. At the end of the presentations, you could offer a special price and preference for receiving the service to those who sign up immediately. You could also adjust the price downward based on how many sales occur at the meeting. Such an offer would give everyone more incentive to buy before the meeting's last minute. Fourth, pre-sell through contracts or subscriptions. You can provide an additional discount before the meeting to those who buy a long-term contract for your regular services, as well as any related new services you provide. Many sales would already be committed at the time when the new service becomes available, adding to credibility for the new service. 5, bundle a bigger batch of offerings together that include items most customers and end users will consider purchasing eventually. This opportunity has been addressed by adding the ABC-based service, but you could also offer upgrades to the service such that a low-cost way to perform the application work for the clients would be included. Since it would be hard to assemble enough resources to accomplish such a result simultaneously for everyone, you might give an incentive to buy right away by assigning them an earlier date for starting the work. If you also add for that day a guarantee of beneficial results well above the cost of the service, you'll generate more interest and sell to many more people and organizations. 6, add scarcity appeal by providing limited versions that are only available at that moment. Some organizations might not have the process redesign skills to take full advantage of activity-based costing. You can offer a few organizations the opportunity to have such work done for them by one of your suppliers. These contracts might be worth tens of millions of dollars each, and merely selling a few of them would greatly expand the market. To make this offering practical, it would probably make sense for your organization to effectively supervise the supplier. 7, conduct auctions that end at the same moment for anything else you want to sell, for which there is a very limited supply and huge demand. Anyone who's interested in cost reduction might also want help with establishing and improving quality processes. If you decide to offer a new service in this area, you might offer a few client organizations the opportunity to be trained in this work and some few others to receive full implementation of quality improvement methods that require having a good activity-based costing system and information already in place. The training and implementation would probably also be outsourced. 8, provide experience-based services that are enhanced by the excitement of the 1-minute event. For this dimension, you might provide some software that would help those present to estimate how much of the service would improve their profits and cash flow. To make this learning more fun, you could engage highly admired industry experts to demonstrate the software, then hold a reception where those who buy the new service could immediately spend informal time with the experts. 9, create an event that everyone will want to talk about having participated in. Financial executives are always interested in networking with those who can help them obtain board directorships. You can invite board chairmen to attend who are looking for financial executives to join their boards. You can ask the intellectual knowledge providers and outsourced supplier to help you attract more chairmen and financial executive prospects. In lieu of paying a finder's fee for your help in introducing potential board members, these chairmen could be asked to make modest donations to some popular charity. You can then use the charities to help attract celebrities, supporters who in turn would help attract the families of the chairman and financial executives. Such a celebrity-based event would increase your ability to draw more attendees and to make the event even more of a don't-miss occasion. So what are your assignments? Really, there are four. First, how could a professional service launch be made much more successful by using the methods I've suggested just now in this lesson? Second, how could the cost of such a professional service launch be greatly reduced without losing any sales? Third, how can you best approach the ideal best practice for expanding the markets your offerings serve? And finally, fourth, what new offerings should you introduce that will make your industry expansion easier, faster, and less expensive than what I just described? So I hope this lesson has been a blessing to you, inspire you, and I'll look forward to hearing from you soon about how you've just greatly expanded your market by doing so. In the meantime, may God bless you, your family, and all you do in the name of Jesus. Goodbye for now. Take care.